Most people think that beer is just something you drink, but for us, it's a way bigger than that. This is about community, lifestyle, and building something real. I'm Chris Reagan. I'm the co-founder of Anvil Union Brewing, and we're building a brewery. But honestly, it's way more than that. If you haven't heard yet, Anvil Union is there's a lot in the works. We're not just beer, we're not just a brand. We're all about community and lifestyle and people who just want more out of life. We're all about strength and brotherhood and obviously beer. So today I am sipping on a smoked German wheat beer that I brewed. It has obviously notes of smokiness, kind of like if you were, smoking a brisket. And then when you take the sip, you get a good rush of wheat beer clove, but it is pretty overwhelmingly smoky, which wasn't really what I was going for with this beer, but I think it turned out pretty good. It's light, it's under 5%. It's drinkable, but also has that really heavy barbecue taste to it. Not overly hoppy. It goes down smooth, but again, it has that overwhelming full flavor. The mouthfeel is super pleasant. That's one thing that I love most about this beer is that it has a really soft mouthfeel. It's almost like you have a pillowy beer in your mouth when you're sipping on it. It's actually pretty pleasant. Um, what made me want to brew this beer was I was challenged, if you will, to come up with a beer with smoke flavors in it. And instead of brewing sort of like a traditional like German lager that most people go with for smokiness, I ended up actually going with this style just because I wanted to try something a little bit outside the box. And I knew I could pull it off, and I did. And for being challenged to brew a smoky beer, I think it turned out pretty well. So let's talk about beers. The beers that we're going to be mostly focusing on as a brewery in the future is actually going to be a wide range of beers. I'm really into clean lagers, malty lagers. I'm really into styles done not just right, but styles done to my own personal taste, which tends to be more towards malty but clean and extremely drinkable. So we'll be doing a lot of European lagers. We'll do pilsners. We'll do German lagers like a Munich Dunkel, and that sort of thing. We will also be focusing on lagers that other people are into, like Mexican lagers. We do Mexican lagers pretty well, if I say so myself. Extremely drinkable. To be honest, I'll brew a keg of it and then take it to the beach and just sip and enjoy it while I'm sitting on the sand. That's one of the things that I love to do most. We're going to be focusing a lot on that, but we're also going to be doing some other things as well. One of my other favorite styles of beers are basically just like English beers as a whole, from Burton IPAs to English brown ales to bitters. It's a wide range of ales, but also, in my own opinion, extremely drinkable. It's going to be something that we'll be releasing soon, and maybe in the future we'll do cask ale as well if we can get the sort of the logistics set up for that. But we don't just want me to be comfortable with the styles of beers that we're brewing. We also want other people to have what they enjoy. So again, that's why I want to brew a wide range of beers so that everybody who comes in can find a style of beer that they enjoy and be able to feel comfortable in what they're drinking, as well as everyone else around them, so that they can focus on just having a good time. We want beers people come back for, not just try once. So instead of having just a list of IPAs where you pick an IPA at random and you find that, maybe that was not your style and like maybe you think that that brewery doesn't do IPAs well, we want to have your first sip to be a pleasant experience, and that's what we're going for. But that is also not to say that we won't do a few other, I would say, more experimental beers. I am really into stouts, so maybe You come in one time and we will have bottles or crowlers of stouts ready for sale or maybe even on draft. The possibilities are really endless. By trade, I'm a chemist. So I am really into experimenting with things, playing with, certain ingredients, trying to see what works best in certain styles or certain beers that I'm trying to go for. What's going to work best for trying to bring out those flavors that I really enjoy and that other people really enjoy as well. Maybe we'll have an experimental sour on tap. Maybe we'll have a stout with some, extra things in it like marshmallow or cereal or, something that sounds like really, really cool that people want to try. That's what I'm really into. But like I said, Anvil Union is way more than beer. It's way more than brewery. Right now, it's really cool to be into this content right now because, like I said, we're building this from scratch. Right now, we have zero actual, like, real life, tangible product out there. So you're getting to see how we get from A to Z, which is super cool for you guys. And it's super cool for me too because I've never done this before, and I'm super excited about learning the process and figuring out what stages of the process are easy, what are hard, what are different ways to go about, accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. So that content will be coming as well, and then more content that we're working on is also going to be focusing on the other side of our community, which is really fitness focused. So, we're going to be maybe pushing this brewery idea into the space of the gym, which will be super cool to have. We're not sure that there's really a whole lot of other people out there doing that kind of thing. I've been going to this gym that we're talking about like building into for several years now. I may not look like it, but I am into into the gym and working out. I love lifting weights. I just started getting back into running. Not really good at either one, but I love doing it and showing up anyways. And it's really interesting to me to build out this sort of community because in my mind, I love life and I love the balance of life. If you look at craft beer as an art form the way that I do, man, this is life right here. Okay. If you're into getting up at 5 a.m. and getting in the gym and benching and squatting and rowing, like I'm also into that. So why can't I be into both? Why can't other people be into both? So one of the really cool things that Anvil Union is going to be offering is going to be focusing on how do we balance drinking and fitness, and how can we make sure that you're reaching the goals that you want to reach while also enjoying the things that you really enjoy. So, what does that look like? Well, I'm glad you asked. Um, when it comes to drinking beer, you still need discipline, just like you would in the gym. Okay. Sorry, I just took off my glasses because I just remembered that the light gives a glare. So I'm sorry if you were watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, where does his glasses go? I just took them off because I just realized that it probably doesn't look great on camera. Where were we? So we were at right, discipline. Discipline is a huge part of reaching your goals, obviously, right? You have to eat the right things, you have to do the right things, and make sure that you do it consistently. Okay. So what does that look like with drinking beer? Obviously, like you want to enjoy beer, but you also can't just be going and drinking beer as much and as often as you would really like to sometimes. So discipline comes into play in that as well. And that probably looks different for everybody. I don't drink beer every day. I love beer. Beer's my passion. Beer's my art form. But if I drink beer every single day, then obviously I would not be reaching my goals. So I try to limit myself. And when I do drink beer, I'm not drinking to the point where, all those calories are shooting me way past my calorie limit. So if you haven't yet, join the Anvil Union community and reach out to us. And we would love to set you up with something that's specifically catered to you. We, the Anvil Union community, are established in the wider Georgia area. And why is that important? Well, it's important to us because we're building community. I mean, honestly, we're sticking with, we have people in our area that we love to connect with and love to hang out with and go on trips with, drink a beer with and work out with. So we're building a community of people that are like minded, which is super important to us. That saying, that's not to say that, we can't, work with you remotely from somewhere else. We would love to do that. So if that's you, reach out anyways. So, one of the things that we're really looking into building out are events. So, if you're a member of the Anvil Union community, we're going to be reaching out and letting you know about upcoming events that you're going to be invited to. It's going to be awesome. We're in the build phase, and honestly, we would love to have you come along with us. What are events going to look like? Well, that's really up to what the community is into. Maybe it's going to look like a party with some beer there and maybe some workouts or maybe some competitions. It's really up in the air right now, but we're going to bring you guys along for the journey. And if you have some input, like please let us know. We're going to have random community meetups, not just random, but we're going to have meetups. If you want to go for a run with several like-minded people, that's going to be an option. Workouts, training classes, it's not going to be all focused on that. If we're a community, then we're going to be also, hanging out with each other outside of the fitness component, which is where the brewery comes in. We love to provide a space and a focal point for people to come and be together. All right. So one of the most exciting things one of the things I'm most excited about with this community is going to be the experience of traveling with a lot of people. So right now, the idea is that we gather around and we travel to different places, probably starting pretty locally. Like I said, we're in the wider Georgia area. And then so we may book a trip to Athens or Atlanta or Decatur or up to Asheville, which would be amazing, or Greenville, and just travel together, go to a bunch of different breweries together and share these experiences and talk about beer, which I love to do, and sort of like understand and learn everything there is about the beer and brewing culture so that we can just sort of like, deep dive into it all together, learn about new styles, learn about tasting beer, the different things that different breweries are doing for their beers, which goes hand in hand with also cuisine. I love beer, but I also like cuisine. Maybe there's some cool restaurants or something in the area that we love to go to. But honestly, like a good brewery is, a lot of them offer really good food because they're into, that sort of thing because it just kind of goes hand in hand. So eventually, where we would like to go to is somewhere overseas. The U.S. has good beer, but the some of the highest ranked beers in the world come from Europe. So we're really hoping to get to the point where maybe as a community we can go and take trips overseas to like Munich, Germany, or Czech Republic, or Belgium, or the Netherlands would be another cool one. So we're really thinking about how to make that happen. In my opinion, and I really do think this. I think we can make that happen sooner than a lot of people think. So, keep updated on everything going on in the community by checking us out and following us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok because a lot of stuff is going to be happening on those socials. So our handle is Anvil Union Co. So check us out. Like I said, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. If you're interested, please reach out, send us a PM, a DM. I think we have a telephone number on the socials. So, send us a message and we will get you connected. If that sounds like you, where you want to learn how to balance life with beer and fitness, we would totally love to help you out with that. We have some free resources coming soon. So we would love to hook you up with those. And if you really want to dive deep into it and get more bang for your buck, then we will absolutely get you in on a program and you will love it. Another thing you can do to help us out is just share our pages. Share them with friends, talk about them, invite friends to join it. It costs you nothing. It literally takes you like one click to send, and it helps us out so much by growing our pages and growing our outreach and finding more like-minded people. Another way to support is showing up to events. If you see something out there, if you're a winder, we will be local. We will have something there for you that you can walk up to and enjoy. So community wise, like if you're just an entrepreneur and you love watching businesses grow, this content and this community is going to be for you as well. We would love to have you, even if you're not super big drinker or beer drinker or not a huge fitness guru, like you can still be a part of this because I know, all the business guys out there are going to be wondering how we build from here. This is our very first podcast episode. So, we're in my basement right now. I'm drinking a homebrew. And where is this going to go? And a year from now, hopefully, we will be sitting in our own brewery, drinking our commercial made beer, talking about, oh man, a year ago we were just, watching Chris on YouTube drinking a home brew in his basement on his crappy Android phone and no microphone, echoing everywhere. His dog, his wife, and his kid are upstairs clanging around. We can totally hear him. It would be super funny to look back on. So just like come with us on this journey and get invested. It's it. I'm telling you, we're going to have a lot of fun. If anything, I know it's going to be fun. All right. So like I said, I kind of introduced this beer and this style to you. Usually, every time we do this podcast, we will have something sipping, and I'll introduce it, and we can kind of go through the notes together. I will have possibly some guests on the show as well. We'll be, having whatever they bring with them and tasting it together and talking all things beer related, fitness related. I mean, like, I'm super into a lot of other things like fly fishing and playing poker, connecting with other dads out there in the area. I am super involved in my church and kids ministry. There's just a ton of different things out there to be talking about. And so we're going to try to be putting out a bunch of these videos. Stay tuned because we're going to be talking about some interesting things. I have been posting about a beer that I just kegged. If you're watching this, and so if you are watching this particular episode, you will find out that the beer I just kegged is a Kolsch. If you haven't heard of Kolsch, it's a super neat style from um, Germany, in a particular region called Cologne. And well, in German, it's called Köln, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you haven't figured out, I'm really into German beers. Uh, but I've brewed this recipe before, and I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. Right now, it is springtime, so it's really light and pretty drinkable, crushable. Right now, I'm kind of like into that thing at the moment. In fact, I just brewed a pilsner that I dry hopped a little bit, so it turned out like really flavorful, especially with the malt. I love the malt I just found. This pilsner malt, man, it's just killer. And if you're interested in it and what kind of malt it is, just drop a comment and I'll reply to it with what malt it is. But like I've been calling around like, hey, you got this, and like everyone's like, I'm out, I just ordered. So I love talking about that kind of stuff with people. We're going to be having uh, we're going to be talking about home brews, commercial beers, world famous beers, local beers in the area. We're going to be covering all that kind of stuff. We're going to be, enjoying some beers with some fitness people. So we'll talk about like, muscle building or weight loss or, toning, cardio, high rocks, CrossFit, all the kind of stuff. And we're going to be really into just kind of like building that community of people who are really into, just going all in. That's really what it boils down to for me is like, if you're in this community, you're going to be just like going, like taking it just having a good time. Okay. I say going all in, but it's really about going as far as you're comfortable with. I work out with a lot of people that are super into fitness and they do it 5 times a week. I would love to do that. I can't do that, but I love to do that. And are, just go all in on it. But they also take the time to go on the weekend and have a beer and they don't hold themselves back just because, they think it might, pause their progress for a little bit. We're just I think I think what it really boils down to is enjoying the time with the people that are around you. And what's the point of stopping and having a beer if you don't have anyone to converse with and you're not enjoying the people that you're doing life with? So here's my invitation. Let's do life together. Um, Join our community. Stop in at Forge RX, sign up for a membership, $25 a month, like get to working out with us. See me, grab me, let's talk beer, let's go out for a beer, let's go to a local brewery, or just like go somewhere at a restaurant and sit down and have one. Like I'm into bourbons and wines as well. Let's go drinking. Not like drinking, but let's go drinking. But welcome to the Anvil community. Guys, I'm really looking forward to this journey. So thank you for coming along with me. Cheers.